we have a training as a clinician to almost have a predetermined agenda when we come into a encounter where this is what I got to get to, or if you're exercise biased, like we need to get this person to a specific exercise or a specific approach. So we tend to try to steer things a little bit. I've really just trying to let go of a lot of control of the encounter to an extent. Of course, we still have to come to some sort of threshold where we're going to help the person do something, but letting the patient, I'll often start, what do you want to do today? What do you think is important for us to work on today? And let them walk through it. But like for beliefs and things, because there are people who hold some pretty challenging beliefs, and I think we can make some decisions as a professional, setting up choice points where they can walk themselves through it. Bronny talked about the decisional balance stuff where you basically lay both sides of the argument out. Okay, if we pros of this approach, what's the cost of this approach? Where does that leave you? And then hopefully the patient makes a decision that moves them hopefully away from the belief that especially we think it's a belief that's not helping them move towards their values, but ideally them coming up with the thought of that it's not moving them towards their values. That belief is a tough one, but there's some beliefs that I'll just test the waters to see, is this something they're flexible with? What do you think, patient? And if they're like, no way, then I'll just steer around and take an approach and maybe circle back to that hopefully further down the road when they've hopefully made some ground up to consider it. But especially early on when people are really not really considering a lot of change and they're still holding on to beliefs, it can be hard to get those to shift. And I definitely have had my cases where I'm trying to steer them to think and act a certain way, which I think is not a bad thing, but I think as long as we let it be more organically led by the patient, not us imposing our will upon the patient, which I think is a universal struggle.